Hello, and in this DBIntegrate demonstration video I'm going to show you how we add some simple processing functions to a mapping job. The first step required is to load up DBIntegrate. As you can see, I have a project in front of me which follows in from a sequence of demonstration videos, so please check out early ones if required. And I'm just going to go straight ahead and open up our mapping job. We have our two target tables, email_data, which already has some processing applied to it, which I showed you how to add in an earlier video. And I've got this new email_audit table, which is pretty blank, just with one target column that's been mapped already. I'm going to go ahead and direct map the forename field. With the surname and date of birth fields, I want to use the output from the previous target table that I've already called. So we've got a DBI to upper processing function here, which will take the surname input and return it in capital letters, and a date of birth processing function, DBI to date, which takes the input date and returns into a date format and returns a default value of 1900-0101 if the date is invalid or empty or can't be passed by DBIntegrate. These functions all have a return value. In this DBI to date, it's v_date, which has been called in the map fields area, which is what we want to do for our target table, email_audit. To do that, I click on the appropriate field, and then I look down to the bottom left of the screen in the variables window, and I can see my two variables here, v_name and vdate. All I need to do is take this variable, press on it to highlight it, and then just drag it from the variable window up to the map fields, and then repeat the process with the v_date variable for the DOB column. I'm just going to drag over it and highlight the DOB column and release the mouse. On my previous email_data table, I didn't have any processing, I just direct mapped to the target column. However, if I open up this email table and view the data, we can see we've got some invalid information here. So we've got an exclamation mark in this email address, and this email address has no @ symbol, and we also have some with invalid domains. For example, this one is care.org. which is not a valid domain. So I want to apply some checks to make sure that the email I'm going to pass is valid. So I click on the email column, and then I click on this before tab here, right click and select add function. This brings up the DBIntegrate processing library, and I'm going to use this DBI_check_email_format processing function. So I then take the email source and drag it down to this email input argument here and assign a variable to this function. I'm just going to call it v_email_check. Now this function will return a boolean true or false value, which is great, but we wouldn't want to return that in the email column. So I'm going to add an if statement. So I'm just going to select add if after here, and this creates our if condition. Now if I select set condition, I want to say if the email check is true, then do this, if not, do some other processing. So I'm going to select v_email_check and just write in equals true. and this is added to the condition line here. So if the email check is true, I just want to return the original email address. So I select email and drag it down and return v_email. So this is the condition I want to do if the email check is true, but I also want to say what to do if it's false. So I'm going to add an else directly below. And I've decided I don't want to call any of those emails. I want to skip those records entirely. So I need to add another function inside this condition. I'm going to call one that's called skip target. And then I just simply drag up the v_email variable up to the top and save that. I'm just going to direct map country, and I'm going to just put in an audit comment of valid email, which is now taken on the green map for constant. I'm going to close this, just run the project, and as you can see, our initial target table has 23 records written to it, so that's the entire selection, 23 rows of our invalid email addresses, such as a date in the email column and empty. Our txt_email data source has only got 12 records written to it, and if we view those, they are all valid email addresses. A next step you could do to build up this would be to add further audit comments or add further processing to exclude invalid dates of births as well. Thank you for watching that short demonstration video. Please view our YouTube channel TranssoftTube for further videos for hints, tips and demonstrations. Thank you.